By 1935, Jews no longer felt safe in public, and there were increasing threats at home. Aryan landlords were free to evict Jewish tenants. The government limited food purchases by decree, and shopkeepers frequently showed their hostility to Jewish customers. The hostility of store owners made daily living in Germany difficult. In April 1933, the German government forbade kosher butchering, a major hardship for Orthodox Jews and some conservative Jews who adhered to Jewish dietary laws. Orthodox Jews secretly ignored the German decrees, even under threat of punishment or jailing. Increasingly, as the government and the Nazi Party egged on Aryan Germans, Jews suffered verbal assaults if they left their homes, and met Aryans who knew them on the streets. Aryan Germans willingly joined in the harassing of Jews when they encountered them in public. Ironically, before the German government required Jews to wear the yellow star to identify Jews, some Germans went after fellow Aryan Germans who looked Jewish based on Nazi racial stereotypes. Jews frequently faced a wall of silence from one-time non-Jewish friends and co-workers. The friendliness and politeness of pre-1933 Germany vanished. In small towns where 17% of Jews lived, neighbors and friends were more likely to shun previous Jewish acquaintances. In small towns, when Jews became the victims of attacks, verbal and physical, they often knew the culprits. Hitler Youth processions often turned into opportunities to attack local Jews. Jewish funerals became an opportunity for small-town meanness. In urban areas, Nazi block wardens went out of their way to harass Jews they knew living in their area. Women commented on the loss of neighborliness and the loss of friends. Sometimes Jewish women avoided talking to former friends to prevent Nazi Party retaliation against them. Friendships between Jewish and non-Jewish men and women were discouraged by German authorities. Even the most platonic friendships could lead to problems after the passage of the Nuremberg Laws. Any relationship could appear a violation of the law for the protection of German blood and honor. Jewish participation in organizational life with non-Jews ended quickly. As Germany emerged as a totalitarian state, the Nazi Party and German state took control of all social organizations. For example, the Nazified German Chess Club or the German Automobile Club barred Jewish members. The German state pushed all elements of German society to treat Jews as the other pariahs resident in Germany. All formal and informal groups in Germany expelled Jews and barred them from membership. A few Germans went out of their way to retain friendships with Jews as their individual act of defiance against the Nazis, but most Germans eagerly accepted the new order, shunning and excluding Jews. Because of the actions not only of the German state, but of most individual Germans they encountered, German Jews found themselves isolated from non-Jewish Germans and dependent on social contacts with fellow Jews in an increasingly hostile environment of Germany from 1933 to 1941. Between 1933 and 1935, Jews fled the hostility of small towns to larger cities, hoping for greater anonymity. However, by 1935, Jews could no longer go to cafes, pools, or parks in Berlin, where initially they had greater anonymity as strangers. By 1936, 80% of the Jews in small towns were destitute. By 1937, 200 Jewish communities had dissolved, and 600 others were on the verge of dissolving, out of a total of 1,600 organized Jewish communities in Germany. Jews in small towns tended to migrate first to larger cities, then to seek migration out of Germany. Women often decided for their families to leave. They pushed their husbands to migrate. Jewish women did not have the same level of involvement in German public or economic life as men prior to 1933, and felt less commitment to remaining in Germany. Many men hoped for the restoration of Jewish rights after the departure of Hitler and the Nazi Party. Men identified more strongly with German nationalism and hoped to wait out the Nazis, not imagining the outcome would become total extermination. Jewish men who served during World War I could not imagine they would become victims of the German state. Women, however, feared for their families and felt a greater sensitivity to the decline in relationships between Jews and Aryan Germans. Wives pushed their husbands to leave. Awareness came in stages. For some, the initial anti-Semitic decrees of 1933 proved sufficient to suggest the time had come to emigrate. For others, the 1935 Nuremberg Laws became the last straw, eliminating any hope of remaining in Germany. For almost all remaining German Jews, the events of November 9th and 10th, 1938 became the turning point. A few did not make up their minds to leave until either the completion of total Aryanization or the outbreak of war in September 1939. In mixed marriages, the Aryan wives of Jewish husbands feared for their children pushed to leave Germany. Zionist groups and the Aid Society of Jews in Germany encouraged Jews to emigrate. Jews ran into a problem. Nobody wanted the Jewish refugees. Even countries in Latin America willing to accept some refugees did not consider Jews appropriate citizens because they lacked agricultural skills. President Roosevelt called the Evian Conference in 1938 to deal with refugees, and it accomplished nothing. Germany put currency on Jews leaving and blockaded bank accounts. Jews who managed to get out from 1933 to 1937 gave up 30% to 50% of their resources to the German government for the right to emigrate. From 1937 to 1941, the German government confiscated 60% to 100% of Jewish resources, robbing them of the means to start a new life abroad, if they found a country that would accept them. At the lower level, members of the Gestapo and civil service demanded bribes, and some German officials required sexual favors from Jewish women seeking to leave in order to get exit papers. These are the figures of Jews leaving Germany. 1933, 37,000 left. 1934, 23,000. 1935, 21,000. 1936, 25,000. 1937, 23,000. 1938, 40,000. 1939, 78,000. 1940, 20,000. And 1941, 8,500 in the last year that Jews could leave Germany. Altogether, about 280,000 Jews left Germany. Over 80% of Jews under 45 left Germany. More Jews wanted to leave from 1935 to 1941, but could not find countries to accept them. Law for the protection of German blood and honor outlawed mixed marriages or sexual relations between Jews and Aryans. Aryan women or men who engaged in sexual relations with Jews after 1935 risked public humiliation for violating the Nuremberg Laws, and Jewish partners were punished if caught for violating German blood. In the 1930s, only a small percentage of children of mixed marriages identified with Judaism. However, the German government considered all children, regardless of religious identity, as Jews by blood or race. Even after 1933, Jews continued to marry non-Jews, and 25% of the marriages in the Jewish community from 1933 to 1939 involved Jews marrying non-Jews, usually Jewish men marrying non-Jewish women. The Nuremberg Laws split full Jews from half-Jews, known as Mischling. Many of the children of mixed marriages considered themselves Christians, but were defined by German laws as Jews with the same penalties and prohibitions as full Jews. Nazi policies planned to murder the half-Jews, but in practice most of the Mischling who remained in Germany did not end up in concentration camps or death camps. Many of the people in mixed marriages emigrated from 1933 to 1941. The Nuremberg Laws did not stop Jews from marrying non-Jews, but mixed couples had to leave Germany from after 1935 to marry. Friends, family, and society disapproved of Aryan Germans in marriages with Jews. In many ways, marrying a Jew became an act of political defiance to the Nazis. Most Aryan women refused to divorce Jewish men, regardless of family, society, and state pressure. In February 1943, a roundup in Berlin caught a number of Jewish men in mixed marriages, but demonstrations by their Aryan wives forced the German authorities to release the men, saving them from deportation and extermination. This protection from deportation did not apply to most Jewish spouses in mixed marriages outside of Germany, who if caught, were deported.